USC loses another offensive line recruiting battle. And as a result, the Trojans are starting to sink dramatically in the recruiting rankings at ESPN. The Kings handle internal business in time for free agency. And the Dodgers have reportedly opened trade talks for a starting pitcher. Hi, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelenos. It is July 12th, 2022. It is a glorious day in the new home studio. What with the melted candles in the background that my wife says reminds her of something personal about me. We'll get to that later. Also, we are a big fan of the cathedral ceilings here in the new home studio because, after all, when you post videos on YouTube, you've got a godlike complex, and it gives me that echo of gravitas when I speak. Now, if you like the content we've been putting out for the last couple of months, clickety-clack this like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. We put out new videos every day. It'll let you know it's there. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And yes, comment. By the way, thank you to the new subscribers who joined the channel yesterday. I appreciate every last one of you for coming in. Yesterday on the scoreboard, there were no games involving LA teams. But tonight, the Dodgers will be in St. Louis. That'll be at 4:45 p.m. Mitch White, he's 1-1. He'll take on Matthew Liberatore, who is 2-1. Dodgers 7.5 game lead in the NL West. Washington will also take on the LA Sparks. That game is at 7:30. So once again, we're starting off with SC. They lost again at an offensive line upgrade for the recruiting class of 2023. 4-star lineman Lucas Simmons is heading to Florida State. Now, you might remember last week they whiffed on getting a 5-star recruit. That guy went to Miami. As a result, the Trojans have tumbled from the 10th spot in ESPN's recruiting rankings down to 16. Oregon, more importantly, moved ahead from 18 all the way up to 9. And even more important than that, since as we know, USC is going to the Big Ten, Ohio State is number 2 nationally. Penn State is number 5. Now, these are problems for the Trojans, because if you think about it, you kind of want to have some of your recruits, particularly on the offensive line, with a little bit of experience before going into a conference known for its offensive linemen. Wouldn't you say? Free agency in the NHL opens on Wednesday. The Kings allegedly have about $4.4 million of cap space after the moves that they've made. They've come to agreements with winger Carl Grundstrom and winger Elias Anderson. They have extended qualifying offers to forwards Gabe Velarde, Jarrett Anderson-Dolan, and defensemen Mikey Anderson and Sean Dursey. Now, a qualifying offer is not necessarily an agreement. The player can refuse it. And the one that, if I'm a Kings fan, I'm a little concerned about is Mikey Anderson, okay? It wouldn't surprise me if he refused it. He's been extremely steady. He's been in the league only 2 years. He's clearly established himself. And he is just absolutely the perfect complement to Drew Doughty. One person who's definitely been left to try finding greener pastures would be forward Brendan Lemieux, by the way. John Morosi of MLB Network is reporting that the Dodgers are talking trade for Reds starting pitcher Luis Castillo. He is a 2-time All-Star. He's considered by analysts to be the best starting pitcher on the market. Now, here's the thing, though, for the Dodgers. They might have to pony up a little bit extra than what you would imagine, because Luis Castillo is not in a free agent year. There's one more year of control before you have to open up the checkbooks. So the Reds aren't in any position where they're compelled to deal now. And there's no word right now on what Cincinnati would want. So it's preliminary at best. Gareth Bale was introduced at an LAFC press conference yesterday. Now, as the cliche goes, he's saying all the right things, you know, at this conference. Oh, being in LA, it could reinvigorate my career. It's so much nicer to be here where I'm not recognized by literally everybody when I walk down the street. I could go unnoticed. It's great. But is it possible that he's a changed man? The tiger that changes his stripes. Remember, he's burned bridges at Manchester United. He's burned bridges at Tottenham Hotspur and Real Madrid. So how long until the guy burns bridges here? Now I want you guys to understand something. I'm not saying he sucks, and I'm not saying that he can't be productive and still be a jerk. I love Zlatan Ibrahimovic. That guy was a bit of a jerk when he wanted to be, right? So he can still be successful. The question is, if you're an LAFC supporter, are you willing to put up with a lot of drama in order to get those goals? Meanwhile, Galaxy legend Landon Donovan is among the finalists to manage the San Jose Earthquakes. He's one of 5 finalists to replace Matias Almeida, who was let go in April. Donovan currently leads USL team San Diego Loyal. He is their manager. He's also a part owner. He did play for the Quakes super early in his career, back when he had hair. And who am I to talk? There's a reason I wear baseball caps. But he did win 4 MLS Cups with the Galaxy. There's a statue of him at Dignity Health Sports Park, if you've ever been there. So if you're a Galaxy supporter, feeling a little weird about that? Going to a rival to manage him? I am. I admit it. I love the guy. Not just for what he did with the Galaxy, but for the U.S. men's national team. Feels a little weird. Yesterday, you might remember I introduced you to, I don't know what the guy's name is. Let's just refer to him as Mr. Sensitive. He writes for this blog called Bolt Beat, which again may as well be Tiger Beat, because it just sounds like it's too drama-filled, okay? He's back again. He's wailing and he's gnashing his teeth over where Justin Herbert is being ranked in the ESPN poll of players. He bitched yesterday about Derwin James being ranked, I don't remember, who cares, right? Oh, how is Derwin James not an elite safety? And now somebody has the temerity, all these guys have the temerity to rank Justin Herbert as the 7th best quarterback in the NFL. If you know this guy, could you do us all a favor? Could you get him a gift card and then send him to the mall to buy a clue? Player rankings don't mean squat, dude. They just don't. It's a minor argument that you have when you're in a sports bar and it's closing time and somebody's carping about Aaron Rodgers and the other guy's carping about Tom Brady. It doesn't matter. You are way too emotional on this. You have drunk way too much estrogen. You need to give it a rest. I like Justin Herbert. I don't have a problem with the Chargers. Okay? There's a lot of things to like about Justin Herbert. The fact that he hasn't been to the playoffs yet, that's not something to like about Justin Herbert. I bet he will get to the playoffs at some point. I wouldn't doubt it. But it's not something to sit there and... That is a problem if you don't make it to the playoffs earlier in your career. So what do? You start complaining over the fact that Joe Burrow made it to a Super Bowl. Oh, it's silly to rank Burrow over Herbert. Is it really? Is it really silly to rank Matthew Stafford, the guy who won the Super Bowl last year, the guy who was a perennial All-Pro, over Justin Herbert? No, it's not. And again, I'm not saying Justin Herbert can't play. Of course he can. It wouldn't surprise me if he has a terrific career. But other than your hurt feelings, what exactly do you have to go on? Relax. Training camp hasn't even started yet. I realize that opening a blog is cheaper than paying for a therapist, right? But if you keep barking about how low players are being put in an ESPN poll, you need professional help, dude. Lighten up. Executives around the NBA were asked about what they thought about the Lakers offseason so far. They like the signings of center Thomas Bryant. They like Damian Jones being brought in. But there are mixed reactions to the signings of Juan Toscano Anderson, Troy Brown Jr., and Lonnie Walker IV. I bring that up just because, I don't know, maybe there's a guy blogging for Lakers Beat who wants to get his bleep in a bunch over rankings or something. Look, the Lakers, they have one more spot open on the roster. I have no idea how they're going to fill it other than with another minimum wage flunky. It just is what it is. But again, the Dodgers are back on the field, and I'm very much looking forward to that. If you like the content that we've been putting out, well, if you like this broadcast even, don't forget to like and subscribe to Faithful Angelenos, where we are trying to build something for LA sports. I'm James. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quien Corta El Queso production. Have a great day.